dance in 8.
Perhaps their spousal relationship had been cooling down lately.
I don't think that was the case.
It seemed like secrecy was commonplace in this house.
Interesting.
Carl felt the cold slowly dissipate and was brought back to reality. Giselle was now only ice, and all that was left of her voice was a diary. She confided in this diary, amongst other things, the tragic story of a young woman, a victim. Was this what she was hiding?
Well, obviously. September. Mother once told me when I first met the Gillas that I hadn't picked up the brightest bulb of the lot. And as the years fly by, I'm seeing the truth of her words. Always trust your mother's wisdom. The blackmailing scene is a prime example of Gillas' brightness. He's like a small dog. He thinks he's bigger than he actually is. He growls, genuinely thinking he's scary, but everyone knows he can be pushed aside with just a little kick. He truly believes he can blackmail Hamilton, the big boss himself. It's going to be a long time in hell before my poor Gillas can manage to pull off such a feat. After all, Hamilton's rich, learned, and influential man. Not only is that blackmailing idea bad to begin with, let's be honest. Gillas is way out of his league, but Gillas doesn't even know how he's actually going to carry this out. I don't even think he ever could. He's just throwing random threats out loud in the kitchen. He says he'll do it eventually, but I know better. Successful blackmailing requires masterful cunning, and Gillas is master of nothing. He's a slave and forever will be. I often look at that safe he keeps hidden in the fake wall in which he stores all these incriminating documents he intends to use. I just can't come to grips with the sheer ridiculousness of the whole thing. It is true that Hamilton would still have to figure out the combination to the safe where everything is hidden. Only problem is Gillas only tends to forget the combination. He has a trick to help him remember, his father's first initial followed by 3 numbers. I had to engrave behind his pendant. Who could possibly have a hard time remembering 3 simple numbers but my Gillas? October. Gillas has trouble sleeping. He will flail his arms and legs in his sleep. I told him this blackmail business would be hard on him, but that's the problem with idiots. They always think they're the smartest person around, no matter how hard you try to shake them. Hamilton will find out, and then we're done for. We'll have to move to Waldor and live with the small fry. I'm shaking as I'm writing this. I cannot believe I have taken a part of this tragedy. I haven't done anything. Why do I feel so guilty? Poor girl. So young. Oh shit. Ah, that's it. I can't see anything. Okay. What do we have here? Painkillers. My favorite. So, for how long did she have to stay there? Ah. Give me that. Nope, nothing here. Let's just close all these. I have yet to find a clock that works. Well, shit.
The pot was cold, and the stew inside wasn't cooked. It's likely that poor Giselle was slow cooking it before she got snapped. What a waste.
Before she got snapped. Yeah, with this thing. on steak. Don't tell me I have to feed this guy too.
Ah, moving. What a pleasant activity. Of course, you'll find the record player only to find the records weeks later in some random box.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's DL and...
It felt like old people were all these walls could see for years. The Lachances could hardly be blamed for wanting to freshen things up a bit. The general store, along with several more infrastructures in the area, had been acquired by wealthy industrialist William J. Hamilton. Perhaps the village should be rechristened Hamiltown.
Founded by Bernard Lachance more than 20 years ago, the general store, better known as Chez Lachan, is one of Manhastan's economic mainstays. Since the passing of its aged owner, however, business wasn't as booming as it once was. Gilles Lachance, inheritor of the humble establishment, had no choice but to sell everything to William Hamilton, the rich and famous businessman who sparked a major controversy last year when he announced the reopening and expansion of his copper mine. As of now, operations at the general store are expected to remain unchanged. Despite the change of hands, Gilles Lachance still helms the register. Stop taking the...
What a mess. Clearly, there was some major revamping work underway here. The place looked barely habitable.
Harlequin novels. Some cigarettes, probably to calm
Beautiful
nerves.
portrait of Gilles and Giselle, bound together by the chains of conventional love.
Oh.
Many boxes scattered about. Carl didn't need to summon his detective training to quickly figure that the Lachances had just moved in. The cross looked after a marriage's well-being and served as a motivator to uphold the priest's sermons calling for more little worshippers on one hand and cautioning against guilty pleasures on the other. Indeed, the Lachances were still part of the God-fearing generation. Many boxes scattered about. Carl didn't need to summon his detective training to quickly figure that the Lachances had just moved in. Carl had seen that kind of safe before. With its double-layered security system blending letters and numbers, its code couldn't be broken by the common burglar.
Before it's 1, 2, 3. Nope. Hold on.
That window had seemingly been left open for a while, Carl thought. Given the punishing weather, it couldn't have been intentional.
I mean, yeah, but I'm going to call this thing impossible to be in any natural way. That's like some UFO shit right there. Where is that pendant? Well, now we have some water. Father's first initial followed by 3 numbers. I had to hit engrave behind his pendant. So it's B. And something. Well, that's a lot of combinations, you know, so... I close this window. Oh, clearly not. No. Lots of logs around. Huh?
The crossbow bolt stuck into the wooden stairs reminded Carl of the arrow that was said to have hit Achilles' heel. But who was the intended Achilles this time?
Hold on. No. That way. Who the hell? It wasn't even a normal crossbow bolt. It was a goddamn flaming crossbow bolt. I'm quite sure those are not too common. Let's go and see what the neighbors know. If there is anyone alive, that is. Huh. My sweet Marie, may the treasure hunt begin. I have hidden wonderful little things for you to find all over the village. Following my clues, you are holding here. That is the first map. The hunt begins at my place. You are so clever, I am certain you will find everything. Martin. Well done. Perfect place for a loading screen. You know, if you ask me. Bedard's house. Yep, classic.
What was even the point of locking your door if everyone hid their key in the same place? Carl was starting to feel like his investigator life lacked challenge. The house smelled like incense, the kind that reminds you of the good Lord, of peace.
And there's the Bible.
Religion was very influential throughout Quebec many years ago. Indeed, it was surprising that Carl did not come across a single chapel since arriving here.
They draw this on. That is a good question, actually. Ah, steak. Ah, those times where detectives could just go and take whatever they wanted. Hello, that's the back door.
Good Paul VI, appearing papal. His crooked fingers gave the impression he was about to bestow a miracle.
Yoo-hoo! Your food for rough times. Yeah, I guess. That's not going to stay good for a long time. Alright. Hello.
Who knew that giraffes thrived in the North Pole? The craze for toys was stupefying.
Hey, some people like toys.
The family's mother must have spent her days washing the filth off her kids' diapers.
See? But where did they go then? Where are the light switches on this place? Marie's diary.
Jean-Luc Bedard had without a doubt been the closest man in the village to William Hamilton, otherwise known as Uncle Willie.
August 16th. I have a diary, just like Mom. Unlike her, though, I don't wear a long face when writing, but I do love to write my thoughts, and about Martin most of all. I love talking about him. I think he loves me too, just like in Romeo and Juliet. People don't like it when I see him, only because he's a bless, but just like in the story, nothing can stand in the way of true love. August 18. I lost appetite. I can't sleep anymore. Every waking hour intense shivers run through my body. That's making me see Dr. Biapa with his big hands touching me everywhere, his foul breath exhaling all over my face. Yuck, I'm not sick, I'm in love. I love Martin so much. There's nothing I like better than thinking about us playing together like we always do. I wonder if he found the key I lost the other day. He was pretty sad when I did, because it's for his dad's garden shed. And Martin has always been afraid of him. I think Martin's dad is a bit like Dad's god. The key fell in the burrow next to the shed. Poor Martin, he cried like a baby, but I still love him. Honey. August 24. My mom often cries when she feels lonely. I think there's no reason for her to cry. Mom can be so stupid sometimes. Dad works a lot because of that wealthy Englishman buying everything. That's what notaries do. They make sure that people get what they're paying for. Basically, it's complicated, but that's how Dad explained it to me. The rich guy doesn't look half as bad as Martin told me he was. When I saw him this morning at Dad's office, he told me, "Call me Uncle Willie." I found that pretty funny, because he gave me candy. Okay, it was kind of old and dry, but still candy. I think Dad gets along well with Uncle Willie, because when he's with him, he laughs the same way he does with Father Labelle. I had to gobble up Dr. Biapa's horrible medicine, because if I hadn't, I wouldn't have made it to Christmas, or so he said. I haven't seen Martin in weeks, nor did I go to school for that matter. Dad has been praying beside my bed every morning for a while now, and at bedtime too. Today he went hunting with Uncle Willie, and he told me to ask God to bless him in my prayers. I think this has to do with the medicine that only the richest of rich can afford. Dad told me he'll be praying for Uncle Willie until the day he dies, and that I should do the same. God, Father Labelle, and now Uncle Willie. I wonder when Dad finds out the time I pray for Santa Claus. September 28. How can Mama be so stupid? And she's getting fat too. She cries like a newborn puppy all the time. It is so annoying. I came across Martin today. He seemed pretty thin, maybe kind of dirty. He doesn't look as neat and presentable as Uncle Willie, that's for sure. Well, that's bingo! Works of art from huge artists. Well done. What is with the lights? Come on. There we go.
Dream catchers originated from First Nations legends. They were used to trap nightmares.
Yeah, they were.
Carl wasn't desperate enough to invade a village woman's privacy.
Oh, but her daughters? Yeah, sure, whatever. Paul. TV's on the other side. Yeah, maybe they weren't watching TV. No loose change in the cracks. No signal. Who closed that? One heart. I have no idea what to do with that.
A true Catholic always strives to keep lowly temptations at bay. Obviously, Carl thought, someone in this house wasn't doing a good job at upholding the Holy Bible's teachings.
Empty gas can. Well done.
An aging car was parked here. Carl
Really?
could picture the notary's heavy sedan with a huge back seat large enough.